What's up, y'all? We're back. Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 6, episode 19. You know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let's talk about this mess over here. We back at this conversation with Mel and Marceau. I really can't stand it. I hate that we're wasting time having a discussion with somebody who is determined to be ignorant. Like, it's just what he wants to do. For him, it's entertainment. And it's kind of creepy, Mel. Like, he's a creep. Mel was saying how it's weird how she was good enough to be like y'all were begging her, asking her to. Tisha was over here taking side meetings. What's his name? Maurice didn't want to have nothing to do with the expo unless Mel was going to be a part, because we need the core 6 to be there, and everybody wanted Mel to be a part. But then as soon as she said, I get paid to do this, then all of a sudden she's not. Her business ain't even really business. She's just over there doing t-shirts. And that sounds crazy. And she was telling him, like, I've been in business for years. And he said, yeah, but that business is bankrupt. I don't know why he brought that up when he knows that she knows his tea. She is like, yeah, I was going through a divorce and my ex-husband filed bankruptcy. So I wasn't about to take on, all of that financial burden. She said, y'all filed bankruptcy and you ain't divorced. So it must have been because your finances was not in order. All he could do is look down in his cup of coffee. He says something like he don't know what she does. I hate it when they do that. You don't know what she does. You don't know what Tiffany does. We don't know what you do. Y'all stand in front of construction sites and pretend like you're, breaking the ribbon ceremony. She said, you know what we did because you got in business with us. If you didn't know what we did, there's no way that would have happened. And he knows it too. Y'all got in business with them because you knew what they did. And you figure that it can help you in the long run. You don't get into business with people that you feel like can't help you. So you knew something you knew. And you're friends with Martell, and you also knew that the business was being handled by Mel because she's smart. And at first I thought you liked it, because you thought it was sexy, but I think you envy it. You hate that Mel is smarter than you. I don't think you like women, Marcel. I changed my mind. I don't think it's a crush anymore. I think it's hate. He was saying basically that the average person, her and her new business that she's only acquired since being on the platform, he said that the average person wouldn't be able to do those numbers because they don't have a platform. And that part is true. But having a platform doesn't necessarily make you successful in business. Ask Sheree. She's been trying to sell. We don't know. She's been trying to sell. Like in the last year or two, it's become athletic wear that she got over there to the Shein. We already know that story. At the end of the day, it's not a successful business for her. She might have sold a few $300 jogging suits to, some of the people that she knows, but she's not a businesswoman. So having a platform doesn't make you a businesswoman. Being a businesswoman with a platform is how you gain, success. So you can't tell me that even the average person would be able to sit down in a conference that Mel is speaking at and take away some nugget that's going to benefit them. I think, he knows that's bullshit. And, I don't know why we're wasting time on freaking Marcel. It would be different if you could have an actual conversation with him. I think Marcel prides himself on just getting you frustrated by not having a conversation. Tisha, what did he do to sweep you off your feet? My goodness. He has this whole idea of what kind of businesses he values. I didn't know you were in home restoration. Now that's a business that I value. I don't know why we care what you value. All of her businesses are worth value if they're being successful and profitable for her. That's the point. You go into business to make money. You have t-shirts. And it sounds stupid to say, oh, well, I mean, I don't value that business. Well, then take the t-shirts off the daggone internet or wherever y'all selling the t-shirts. You don't value it because it is not profitable, because I don't know where your t-shirts are even sold. After all that, then he invites Mel to the town hall, and I think Mel is like, yeah, I'll go ahead and take this opportunity, since we're here doing a TV show and all, to let y'all know what I actually do, how professional I really am. And once again, you know, try to share a nugget or two with you, because that's just how I am. Tiffany and Lewis have a picnic. She's tired, she's overwhelmed, she's feeling fat. These are her words, not mine. Tiffany, I hate to tell you, but honey, you ain't that much bigger than you was before. So don't worry about that. You just had a baby, and you gained a little bit, but not so much that we can really tell the difference. So, give it a minute, and that baby weight to come off. It's not an issue. I think, Tiffany, you're just adding stuff to the conversation. You're worried that Lou's gonna go out and find him a young little thing, and he told you not to have that baby in the first place. That's not saying that he doesn't want it, but he told you not to have it because of this. Everybody told you. Everybody said, it's gonna be a lot, girl. Are you ready for that? Oh, I'm ready. It's gonna be a lot, girl. Are you ready for that? You have already saying, you and your man can't get, no, because you out here doing too much. He was over down to Atlanta telling the ladies to spread their legs like the wine, and I don't know. I don't know what. Well, I mean, you spreaded them, because now here you got with this baby, but everybody told you it was going to be more. So nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody, because everybody told you. Lou has 0 F's to give. Like, seriously, he's like, girl, stop. And it sounds to me like Lou is in a place, like he said, his kid is like 16, they're in teenage, they're about to be up and out, where they're the older they get, how much they depend on you as a parent becomes less. They become more independent. So you wanted to start all over with a brand new baby. Right now, all that baby is doing is sucking on the titty. And even though Lou has titties, them titties ain't gonna do what they need to be doing in order for baby Ace to be happy and content. So I don't think it's fair that Tiffany then throws in his face like, yeah, I just don't want it to be like your father wasn't there for you. And nobody said Lou wasn't gonna be there for his kid, Tiffany. Jeez. I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel sorry for Tiffany. I think Lou doesn't want to be at that house. If Tiffany was my wife, I damn sure wouldn't want to be there. And I think Lou doesn't want to be on this show. I think it's not something that he has enjoyed. I think ever since he's been on the show, his feedback has not been positive. And so for Lou, it's not a good thing. And, and then Tiffany stay in some mess, which also, like, it's more shit for Lou to have to deal with. That's why he probably ain't even been here this whole season. We've seen him a couple few times, Lou be in and then he'd be out. So, Tiffany, these are the consequences of your actions, though. Town hall meeting. Now that we're here and we had a whole gathering meeting, by the way, do these people like rent conference rooms? Do they go to an office building and rent a conference room to have that stupid ass town hall meeting? They don't have enough between all their construction offices and buildings. They don't have a building where they have a conference room where they can put 6, 8 chairs at a table? Because that's all there was. Kimmy, you ain't have a conference room over there where you had Nell come to? So we sitting in somebody's conference room somewhere waiting on these folks to get in here. They slowly but surely trickle in. And why is Martell there? What does Martell do? He's part of the core 6. That's so funny. Stormy comes in, her and Courtney, they're saying hi to everybody, and Stormy doesn't speak to Marcel. This is an ongoing thing with Stormy. Now I see it. When we first met Stormy and she was over at Mel's little event that she had, Kiki was like, "Hey, Stormy," and Stormy walked away and she didn't speak. And we were like, what was that? Then the other day she came in there and, to where was it? The baby reveal. And Mel said, "Hey," and Stormy didn't speak. Today she came in the office and everybody was exchanging hellos and what do they call it? Pleasantries. Everybody was exchanging pleasantries. "Hello, how are you? Hey, hi, how are you?" And not Stormy. She did not speak. Not to Marcel. She don't mess with him. So there's that. Kimmy finally shows up to her meeting, but the stuff had already started popping off. I think when she walked in there, she said the energy was a little bit tense. That's because Marcel is over here playing down people's professionalism and whether they're worthy or to stand up there on his stage at the Black Expo and speak in front of the people. He has to decide whether or not it's valuable. And Martel's like, everybody can be valuable, like to someone. Like even me saying that I started my lawnmower cutting grass business, and not for nothing, cutting grass can turn into a whole landscaping business. So yeah, there's a nugget that can be brought out by many different types of businesses, whether Marcel, you value them or not. That sounds crazy, especially when you don't have no business, none that we can see, none that we have, Do you have anything successful out there? I guess the nightclub Black. Oh, that's right. You said you couldn't have anything that was of value after the platform. So what you got? What you got going on before the platform that wasn't attached to Mel and Martell? Mel gets in and she, right when she gets in, they're having a conversation about how he said he sat down with Mel and, she kind of slides on past that, like, yeah, we good. We came to an understanding because their understanding was if I throw shots at you, don't take it as me throwing shots at you. That's what I got from the end of their conversation, because it seems like what the underlying subject was is if you, tit, I'm going to tat. That's what I heard in that conversation. But anyway, Mel comes in and they start, getting straight to it. She went right straight to, she got places to go. She didn't come here to like hang out with these people. So she gave her input on what she thought would be an improvement on the Black Expo. And she said, she thought that they could use some breakout groups where people can get like a little more one-on-one conversations with people, which would be a great idea because then, you can be more personal about what your actual business is to get advice that you could take away from rather than just being on a platform on a stage and maybe getting to ask a question if you're lucky or hoping that somebody asks a question that will help you. The whole time Mel is talking, Tisha's on her phone and Marcel's pretending to write something on his tablet. So, you're just going to play her like, oh, whatever she got to say, I don't want to hear it. That's especially Tisha. That's that hate I'm talking about. That's why I said I don't think that Tisha really cares much about being cool with Mel because she's such a hater. Even though, she projects a lot. Like she likes to say people are hating on her, but that's exactly what she's doing. Because at the end of the day, Tisha, she does have information that will be of value to you. I don't know why you wouldn't like take that nugget and like your pride is that. And she also said, like, I gave you a kudos. I told you like what was good, I'm just saying this is what could make it better, maybe. You don't want to hear it. Tisha said the people in the original meetings never really weren't really 100% in. So they decided to do away with the breakout sessions. And so I'm wondering, who are they that decided? They that decided must be her and Marceau. They decided not to do the breakout sessions because she didn't even say why, except for y'all didn't never commit to doing anything. So that would mean everything was on Tisha. Kimmy, what did you do? Maurice, what did you do? What did y'all do except for agree to speak on the panel and get a booth. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So then it was all left to these two to decide. Thank you for your opinion, but she asked y'all in the beginning. Y'all said we're not getting paid. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe that would be should be number one on your list, Tisha. Let's get a budget for these people so they will want to participate. That part. Stormy says she likes to come from a motivational standpoint. She said a lot of the people, they don't have money for lawyers and CNAs and all of these things, and they just need, they just need that motivation to get them the jump start that they need. And then of course, Marcel's condescending ass, wants to be dismissive and rude. I know I understood what Stormy meant. Stormy meant that sometimes, in this process, you reach a brick wall and you need inspiration and motivation sometimes to get you to the other side. It's always going to be the money, but a lot of people start out without the money. So you have to figure out, if this is what it takes, then how am I going to get it? How am I going to get to the money so I can move forward? And that's what I felt like, where I felt like she was coming from. But at this point, Marceau is irritated with Stormy. So anything that comes out of her mouth, he's going to be combative. He's going to want to go back and forth over. So Mel kind of piggybacked off of Stormy, like, yeah, after they get, that good information, that's what they need, like a motivation, to get them started. And Stormy was, she was irritated by the way Marceau just handled her. She's under her breath talking to Courtney, like, I mean, should I let you say it so that he will respect anything that comes out of my mouth? And then Marceau chimes in with, I would love to hear what Courtney's wife has to say. He's just being an asshole the whole time and provoking. And this is another reason why I said, like, why? I'm not finna sit up here and let this man talk to me crazy. I don't have to do business with any of you. I thought we were here because as a collective of business people in this community, we were going to work together on a project. That ain't what it is. Courtney said, I think you should let Tisha talk. She's more organized, because when you start talking, things get all over the place. At this point, there's not any real business being discussed. Courtney is getting into it with Marceau, and they're going back and forth. And Kimmy tries to, wrangle everybody in, but then she's in her confessional talking about Marceau and Tisha were being catty, and it just made Stormy and Courtney cattier, more catty. And I'm like, that's not what it was. You thought Stormy and Courtney was just gonna sit there? Like, everybody doesn't find Marceau, his stupid mouth, entertaining. That's not what everybody wants to do. I think Courtney is like, I'm going to bust his ass through that window. That's what's gonna happen. Let me just lean by the door. Marcel said, yeah, I'm writing down everything. I'm taking note of everything. And Tiffany was like, so are you guys like taking the lead on this? And Marcel's like, absolutely. This is my Black Expo. So yeah. And when Stormy was like, well, that ain't what I thought. I thought we were all coming here to like have, input on an expo. If it's just gonna be them, then I'm good. I'm done. Mel was like, well, I hope the next one is more organized and more put together. And then, maybe I'll consider participating. And Tisha's like, you don't think it was organized? And Mel's like, no, not if y'all were asking people for $100 at the last minute and people didn't know, and none of that was discussed beforehand. Tisha said, I think it was organized. Like, some of the behind the scenes stuff could have been worked on, but yeah, we're not here to discuss what happened prior to the expo. And Mel was like, yeah, but basically we are here to discuss that, because what happened prior to the expo is a direct reflection of how the shit was executed. Dumbass. I don't know how you think you can separate the two. You sitting here And that's what the whole point was, constructive criticism, except don't criticize me. How does that even make sense? Like, yeah, some of the stuff, like the thing went perfect, except for some of the stuff behind the scenes. If that's the case, nobody would know what was going on behind the scenes. Marcel said he's interested in what everybody has to say and whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. He's absolutely open to the input. And Tiffany is like, even the input from the women. And then he takes a shot at her and he's like, yeah, like even from you, like, I know you're not valued at home, but you're valued here. That's when Stormy's like, see, he's such a bitch. This is the stuff I'm talking about. He acting like a bitch. And Marceau, took ownership. I'm a bitch. Yep, I'm a big old bitch. That's where we're at the town hall meeting. We got Stormy and Marceau talking about who's the bitch, who's a bigger bitch. Courtney said they don't do business with people that aren't with situations that aren't organized. And Tisha's like, what wasn't organized? And Stormy is like we didn't know we were supposed to pay $100. Like, until, did you know what was going on, Kimmy? Kimmy's like, yeah, no, I didn't know anything about that either. At this point, Courtney and Stormy are like, you know what? We're gonna go. This isn't what we thought it was gonna be. And yeah, so basically that's the end of the meeting. So I don't know what they accomplished by that besides giving Marceau the floor to act the asshole to people. Honestly, if they were going to do something as a collective on the show, it's time to do something different. I do think adding Nell and Fletcher to the show is a good thing, but I think Nell should just slow her britches down just a little bit. So, speaking of Nell, Kimmy invited her over to her office. She wanted to let her know. It was like so weird. Kimmy wanted to let Nell know that basically, remember how I invited you to be a part of the town hall meeting? And Nell's like, yeah. She's like, well, we already had the meeting. We decided not to include you because you ain't had nothing to do with the last Black Expo situation. And so we didn't think that this was the right time to ask you and Fletcher to come, And so, I mean, Nell's in her feelings because Nell acts like she should be invited to everything, it seems like. And I feel like that would be weird now because you got to come in doses. You don't get to come to every little thing. Like, it's one thing to be invited to the baby shower. And then when I say thing, I mean thing that's being filmed. It's one thing to be invited to the baby shower and the tea party and stuff. But when you're talking about business meetings as the collectives, you want to put it out there. Like, me and Fletch been here first for 30 years. We was in business, and Kimmy is like, and what? Like, this was my thing. I'm telling you that based on this information, as far as the core group, they were the ones that were a part of it originally. We decided to stick with that. We're not saying you don't have nothing to offer. We're just saying it didn't make sense to add you in right here. I don't know if Nell feels disrespected, or I think my personal opinion is Nell wants to be on this show. Bad, her and Fletch. And so she's giving a little thirsty energy, and she should just sit down and relax a little bit. She is a good addition. Now, I will say this, like I said before, if they're going to switch up, like I said, the core group ain't a core. Ain't no Hulk, ain't no none of that. That's not a thing anymore. Now don't mess with the Scots like that. The Scots is over there with a bunch of unfinished projects that don't never come to fruition. You need to add like people in like Stormy and Courtney who have an actual viable business, like the Fletchers who are, rooted in the community. That's important. I feel like, like I said, Nella's being thirsty, but it does matter. It's time for the core six to expand and maybe like put somebody else in charge besides Martell and Tisha. Y'all had a chance. Y'all had a good go at it. Remember that show Encore when they would have the queen of the whole week or what have you? Well, y'all's week is up. Y'all give you the crown up. Marcel, take off your bitch crown. Give it to somebody else because y'all are not really being very productive over there, having meetings just to entertain Marcel so he could piss people off. And I mean, when you're grown and you got business, the last thing you really want to do is wasting your time just to go be frustrated. I'm sure Courtney and Stormy had to go have a damn cocktail just to relax. So Fred is back, y'all. Hey, Fred. Martell said they have a company together. Fred, you went into business with Martell? Whatever the names is, y'all's last names together? Y'all doing custom homes. That's what Martell says. They're doing custom homes and they have a business company together. I question your judgment, Fred. Now, shoot, I thought you was just his good friend, and I hope that's what's still going on here. But you're going into business with Martell doesn't seem very smart. Like you see this stuff just like we do, Fred. You're not living under a rock, Fred. You know what's going on, and you know what type of nigga you're dealing with. So it just makes me, birds of a feather, Fred. We, everybody thinks you're cute and all of that, but we questioning integrity. At least I am. Marcel, they're at a lot, and they're you see the truck doing digging and such. Martell said that's his lot, and I said you got a lot, but you don't have a place to stay. And is this the lot that they said that Belinda lady? Because they were saying that Belinda lady got Martell some property, some land. Is that it? Is that the land that she got him? Because I don't think it's no acres or nothing. I think she got this dude a lot because he was in bankruptcy and couldn't get things in his name because his credit wasn't right. That's what he said. That's what he said. And the people said that Belinda bought him some property, some land. So I'm just wondering if that's it. It seems like the timeline was fit. He said Fred is a general contractor and a home builder. So what do he need Martell for? That's why I'm not buying it. I do, they at LLC anything, won't they? Fred, don't get no mess over here fooling with Martell. He not about to handle no business. What does he do? He said this is his first home in a couple of years that he's that he's built. So what have you been doing for the last few years? I mean, we know what he's been doing, but I'm just curious. Like, we don't know what he's been doing. It seems like you should have been building homes in the last 2 years. Something. So what are you doing now? Like, what can you do now that's different, Martell? I'm just wondering. He said filing bankruptcy put him out of the game. Mel filed bankruptcy. It did not put her out of the game. She definitely, she definitely kept playing the game. That's what I'm wondering. How come you didn't keep playing the game? I wonder. Maybe it has something to do with. Right now, he's in a better space, mentally, spiritually, and financially. So then why are you being evicted? If you're in a better space, I mean, mentally and physically and financially, that all goes together. You bought a lot, but you ain't got nowhere to stay. That doesn't make sense, Martell. Belinda bought a lot, and y'all did some. What did y'all do? Is that your lot, Martell? He got, what's the name, Fred over here caping for him. That was irritating my soul. It was, because I was like, Fred, shut up. He over here talking about you did the thing, you went down there, you rocked this one through by yourself, you got the building permit, you got the plans. Did you get the builder's license? I don't think so. What is it? How do you get, what is it? What credentials do you need to get like a building permit and plans? Because I feel like, and this is just me going down to I don't know, state building to get licensed to, for things. And when you're down there, there's like all different kinds of forms for things. And so, I mean, when I went down there, I did have to have my license information, but I actually have a license. So I'm wondering, like, so how did you get the permits from the plan? Fred, did he go down there with your stuff, with your credentials and pick up the paperwork? Is that what that was? You sent him over there to pick up the paperwork and we're calling that walking it on through? I just, there's so much I don't know. I'm just curious. Because some stuff, like, you know how you know stuff, but you don't know stuff, and the stuff you do know makes you go, what now? That's where I'm at with it. I'm at, what now? Child, we sitting here pretending like we're building a house on this lot, and here come Fletcher. What did Fletcher come there for? That's what Martell wants to know. Like, did you see his face? He said, "Phil Fletch." Because you know why he doesn't want to see Fletch? It's the eviction situation. They have a little small talk about the lot. Oh, when y'all gonna be done? Oh, we're expected to be done sometime around September. And Fletch is like, so yeah, are you gonna let me list the property when it's all done and you're ready to, put it on the market? And what is it, Fred? Fred was like, we giving you the listing? And Rochelle's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just want to rent it out. And Fred is like, yeah, I mean, it is a renter's market. And so Fletch was like, speaking of rent, we had talks a few weeks ago, and you're supposed to be out by the 1st. Yeah, I'll probably be done a few weeks. Nope. We don't have a few weeks. It was a few weeks. The last time we discussed this, the owner said he needs this property by the 1st. And Fred's all like, whoa, you trying to tell him he gotta go? And Fletch is like, bruh, he's my friend, but I also have a responsibility to my client. Like, basically, bruh, I got business. This man is getting away with me and my business. First of all, second of all, you don't even know the story. So can you slide back out of this conversation right quick? Because I didn't just happen to be in the neighborhood. I want to make sure I pull up on him and the whole world can see how this fool is over here still being a squatter while he pretending to have a lot that ain't in his name. I mean, they go back and forth. The Fletcher's pretty much like, now that he on Front Street in front of us and his business partner. Did you know that your business partner was getting evicted because he's squatting in the people's house when he knew last year, 8 months ago? Hell, we get off of that, I guess, because Fletcher, he came to do what he did what he came to do. If we got to bring the trucks over there, whatever it is that you need to do to get the hell out of this house, call your mama, put your stuff in storage, and you got to bounce. The jig is up. Martell wants to change the subject. He don't want to talk about that anymore. So he brings up Marceau. And Fletch is like, yeah, we went to dinner, but, basically he don't know about Marceau and that mouth. That mouth is, it's reckless. He said he want to act like he didn't know that me and my wife had a daycare. Fred was like, well, I didn't know y'all had a daycare. And Fletcher's like, nigga, we don't know you. Why would you know we had a daycare? We ain't got the same relationship. You're Martell's friend. Like this dude that, I don't know, wants to write his name on your builder's license as a partnership. I don't know, like Fred has come and done a few scenes, and it's a little bit of mess. Like, I think he knows, I'm gonna take that back. I changed my mind because, like I said, I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like Fred don't keep up with all the nonsense that goes on in the streets. Huntsville is a small town, and you know what kind of foolishness goes along with being Martell's friend. So it's leading me to believe, Fred, that you might be on some bullshit as well. But what Fred did say is like he has a business too. He would have loved to participate in something like that. There you go, another business Marceau, do you see value in that? He's a contractor and a builder, and he builds custom homes. Is any of that, of any value to you? Because that's not what an expo is necessarily, unless you're having a builders expo specifically. So, like Mel was saying, if you're going to have all these different businesses, then you should break out sessions so people can go to the things that they are, interested in. But we still, that was town hall conversation. But I mean, like I said, Fred said he would have loved to participate in that. He said he feels like that him and Flutch, because Flutch was like, he might didn't know about the daycare, but he knew I'm a realtor. And Fred is basically, now Fred is like, oh yeah, like we bring value to this north side of Alabama. But this is the thing. Marceau over there playing, trying to goop the people for $100. And I don't know that he wants to do that to Fred. Fred looks like he knows a guy that knows a guy. I'm just saying. He was talking about, he told him what he said about Mel being a public speaker. And, Martell gets on his feelings, like defending Mel. I feel like somehow Martell's still trying to lean into her light. The light that surrounds Mel, Martell's still trying to lean in it, talking about, because when he speaks, he says we, me and Mel, like he's attaching himself to her, to her, period, as best he can. They all agree that Mel is a good speaker, though, all three of them. And Fred said he went to some conference and Mel was a speaker there and she did a great job. That's what she was doing before this show. I guess that's how that ended. They're getting sitting there, and I guess Martell is going to get more heated about the things that Fletch said. Now he's mad that he sat up in this stupid town hall meeting, and Marceau has said these things about him, about the company Skull, and how they have it now. Like, this is your friend Martell. Shoot, I don't know how y'all could deal with them Scots, to be honest, because I don't know which one of them is more of an ain't shit nigga. We know Marceau is the worst, I guess. Next week, Kimmy gets Kegel balls because now that she's in remission and she's got a good prognosis from her doctor, her life's mission is to, I don't know, fulfill or catch up or get Maurice back on his sexual schedule. So she needs some Kegel balls in order to do that. I don't want to see no candy coated any representatives coming over to Kimmy's house. Apparently, Marceau is sanctioning Stormy because he telling Tisha he don't want her to be friends with Stormy. Because at first he was a big old bitch. Now he's got an issue. You gonna go check me but one time about $100. So now, just when you thought you had another friend, Tisha talking about, I like Stormy. Do you? I guess. Well, your husband said no. And then you got what's this girl, Kiki? Martell is, I guess, still mad about whatever Marceau had to say. I really don't care about Martell's feelings, to be honest. Mel said what she had to say. Hopefully that we won't be having to be put through no more torturous one-on-ones with Mel and Marceau, because honestly, Mel, I don't feel like he's deserving of your time. I don't feel like you should waste another minute sitting down having a one-on-one with Marceau. And Kiki over here trying to tell Mel that Marceau was having an affair with somebody. I don't care, Kiki. This would have been juicy like 3 years ago now. I don't care. Because anybody willing to like lay down with Marceau after you see what he is on so many levels, like, God bless you. Anyway, y'all, that's it on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel. We'll be back to see what these people doing next week, I guess, y'all. Bye.